All right, so some things that we can pick up here for our negative angles is that cosine of a negative angle is going to be exactly the same as cosine of the positive angle, because if you're going up or down, if we have a unit circle here, let's take a look. Cosine is talking about the x value. If I spin up to here, or if I spin down the exact same distance to here, if I'm talking about the x value is the same whether I go up or down. So it's still going to be exactly the same whether I go negative t or positive t, if I go clockwise or counterclockwise. The sign, the y values, are going to be flipped. If I'm down here, I'd be at negative y, as opposed to up here, I'd be at positive y. So clockwise versus counterclockwise flips anything that has to do with a y. So sine would flip, and if sine flips, so does cosecant, from negative to a positive. Tangent also uses the y values, so tangent of negative t turns into negative tangent of t. Okay, so we're just flipping them around. So these are odd functions. We remember doing odd functions from a little bit earlier. But we'll just remember that if we go the counterclockwise versus the clockwise direction, the only thing that stays the same is x. X is going to stay the same if we go clockwise versus counterclockwise. Y will change from positive to negative. So knowing that, we can look at a couple things here. We'll use our period. Period in this case just means we can go around the circle once, and so that's 2 pi. Once we go a whole 2 pi and we start over again, and we get to, say, 7 pi over 6, that's the same as saying pi over 6. Once you go around the circle, you just start counting over again. So as you look at these examples, what they're saying is anytime you have a value that's bigger than 2 pi, just subtract out 2 pi to figure out what value you're really dealing with. And so we'll have sine of pi over 6 and sine of 13 pi over 6 is exactly the same. So if you have a value that's bigger than 2 pi, subtract 2 pi away. So go ahead and try this if you can on 37. See if you can figure out what the cosine of 7 pi over 3 would be. All right, 7 pi over 3 is bigger than 2 pi. So what we're going to do is subtract out 2 pi. I'm going to go straight to a common denominator here and say 6 pi over 3. So what we have here is the cosine of pi over 3. All right, and pi over 3, we go to our unit circle. Pi over 3 is up here, and so that's going to have a 1/2 and root 3 over 2. Okay, you can flip back and look at the unit circle to be sure there. But in this case, we're looking at the cosine, so we want the x value. So the cosine of pi over 3 is going to be 1/2.